My name is John Taylor, and I'm president of the Galva Music Series. Originally, I started at our home. I started hosting concerts at our home, and that was kind of brought on by just when I came home from a military tour. I was just trying to figure out what the heck I was doing with my life, and trying to figure out how to reconnect with not only people but the community. And so concerts were my answer to that, and I started hosting concerts, and I started seeing really neat things happen at those concerts. You know, people just coming together and sharing these experiences, and people who wouldn't otherwise maybe come together. You know, they wouldn't necessarily meet at church or at a different club that they're part of or whatever. Like, just people from all different demographics were coming together, and a lot of really neat things were happening. And so I saw that, and with that, I decided, you know, I wanted to be able to have a greater impact and reach more people. And the Galva Music Series was that thing. The grant forced us to get out into the public and then into the community, not only for fundraising, but also we had to do voting. We had to get the community involved with a voting thing. There was a competition. With this being a national grant, we were competing against different communities across the U.S. And so only the top communities were chosen out of that voting phase to even be considered for the grant. I was taking this grant writing class, and so I just went to Google and I typed in Music Series grant, and one of the first results that popped up was the Galva Music Series, or the Levitamp grant. And so I just did the work for the course, and I thought, great, you know, handed in, got an A. Fantastic, right? I thought, you know, I checked all the boxes, everything's good. And then, you know, a little bit of time went by, and my wife said, why aren't you pursuing that grant that you just did all the hard work for it? I'm like, that's a really good question. You know, I didn't have a good answer other than, you know, I wasn't part of a nonprofit at that time. I didn't have a nonprofit. I wasn't associated with a nonprofit. And so I started shopping around. I started talking to people, and I said, look, I've got this idea. I want to start a music series, and I'm looking for partners, and I ended up landing with the Galva Arts Council.
Carlin Fallis, and I am on the Levitamp Galva Music Series board. So the first year, we were trying to tell everyone that we talked to raise funds that this was going to be a cool thing, and we didn't even know if it was going to be a cool thing, but we were hoping, and we were right. So that's good. We started with a little abandoned stage that another nonprofit had and put some 2x4s and a tarp up, and then we've moved to this gorgeous stage that we have now. We started really strong with over 50 volunteers, and we've held pretty steady all these years past. And a few have moved on, but new ones always take their place, and it's been really positive for the whole community.
My name's Sarah Hughes, and I am a new board member for the Levitamp series. I'm seeing more shopping vendors, plenty of food vendors. The quality of talent continues to be out of the world, so that remains same. I'm seeing more structure added, the adding of new board members, new ideas, so all good things.
My name is Jason Lindstrom. I'm a volunteer, a board member, and the public safety director here at the Galva Levitamp Music Series. I believe it means a lot to the community. Obviously, on any given Sunday, we'll have anywhere between 700 and 1,000 people here in the park. The majority of those are local, but there are people from out of town. We've got food vendors from out of town, so it helps to bring in revenue, you know, for not only for the food vendors, but for the local businesses. I believe it's meant a lot to the community.
It's brought the community together. It's brought people from other towns into our community and brought them together with us, and it's just a really good cohesive event where everybody has a good time no matter what kind of music it is.
It's made a really big difference in the culture of our town. People are excited about the concerts all week long. We talk about it, who's going to come next, what kind of music that's going to be, what food truck you're going to snag the next time that you come. And then afterwards, we're always talking about how wonderful it was and how maybe we weren't expecting to like that genre of music, but we found out that we really did.
A lot of times when we had ideas of things that we wanted to do, we didn't know exactly how they were going to get done, but we just assumed and had faith that the community would back those crazy ideas, and so far they have. They had a long history of not only music, but just kind of doing things in the community, being involved in the community. They kind of fostered that sense of volunteerism, I guess. And although I live in Cambridge, you know, it's about 20 minutes away, I felt like going to Galva had the most chance of being successful because I felt like there was more support there in Galva. And so that's how I ended up here. One of the things that we've started here in the last few years is we also bring these groups into the schools, and with a focus on the international groups, allowing the students to have experiences with other cultures, you know, not only their music, but just kind of getting to know people from other places in the world and hearing their stories and learning about their cultures and all that stuff. The population of Galva is about 2,500. This year so far, our average attendance has been about 1,100. I mean, there's obviously people from Galva, but there's also people from other areas coming in and enjoying this.
Keep on coming to Galva, folks, because we're doing some special things here.